What's going on, everybody? I'm King Friday. Hope you guys are all staying glossy today, and I have something super interesting for you guys today. Now, if you're in the education market, you know that it is absolutely crucial to be able to find the exact technology that you need, but technology that's not going to be too difficult for teachers and students to be able to use day to day. You also don't want that technology to fail in the middle of class. Nobody wants that. LG has come up with a solution that actually caught my attention, and I'm super excited to share it with you today. It's called the LG CreateBoard. Now, let me just tell you straight up, this is not your average display. This is not something that you just throw into a classroom and say, oh, well, I hope it works. The LG CreateBoard is supposed to be the centerpiece for your classroom, and it's amazing for students, for teachers, and the IT team alike, but we'll get there in a second. This thing has so many features I can't wait to share with you. Let's get right into it. So first off, let's talk about the display itself. Now, LG has been at the display game for a very long time. They know exactly what they're doing. This one is no exception. Ultra HD 3840 by 2160 display. It's ultra clear, super sharp. It's amazing. But then on top of that, it's a touch screen. So it has 40 points of simultaneous touch. Now, obviously, you're probably never going to need that in any type of teaching situation unless everybody runs up and puts all their hands on it at the exact same time. You're probably not going to do that, but better safe than sorry, right? But drawing on this thing, using the touch capabilities, multi-touch, throwing things around with gestures, it all works great on the LG CreateBoard.
Hold on just for 1 second. This is Jordan from the future. I didn't even want to put on a microphone on this. Watch this. Oh my gosh. So I've got greasy little fingers right now because it's hot in the studio, and I'm using a little thing to be able to clean the screen. Can we just talk about this for a minute? Watch this. So you draw. This is just like something from Amazon. This is a little pad to clean screens. Watch this. LG! Talk to us about this sorcery!
One of the things that caught my attention was also the wireless screen sharing. So obviously, we've all seen teachers have to plug in their laptop via HDMI into a, sort of nebulous TV that's kind of on its own here. Or if they do want to cast things to it, it can kind of be complicated. This makes it super simple. You can actually cast up to 9 different devices to the LG CreateBoard at the exact same time. So no hassles, no cables, no nothing. You literally just cast to the display. And then on top of that, the whiteboarding is just amazing. You can actually draw over any input that you put in. So if you do decide to use an HDMI cable because you're afraid of the wireless screen sharing for some reason, you can actually plug in your laptop. You can draw over that. If you have an old-fashioned USB drive that you're plugging into it and you're grabbing your slides from there, you can do that. It doesn't matter, you can draw over it if it's on the display. And speaking of slides, I've got something for you Google Classroom fanatics out there. You know who you are. You can actually access your slides and everything else that's in your Google Drive account directly from the CreateBoard. You don't even need your computer. So no more flipping through pages or trying to find that exact slide or video or photo that you need. It's all right there on the LG CreateBoard. There are actually a bunch of templates that are actually built into the LG CreateBoard that allow you to be able to do things like mind maps and tables and even digital rulers to be able to measure things if you want to. They really have put all of their eggs in the education basket with the LG CreateBoard. It's awesome. Now, I have not been a student for a very long time, but back in my day, all of us students would have to get our phones out and take some blurry, out of focus, angled picture with the whiteboard all blown out of whatever it was that we were supposed to be learning at the time. And then we would get super mad when the teacher would come over and erase it before we were done taking our pictures. You don't have to do that anymore. The LG CreateBoard allows you to export everything that you drew as a PDF and be able to send that out via email to students, even the parents of students, it doesn't matter, or you can upload it to the cloud to allow them to download it at a later time. If your class ever runs late, you can always import all of the things that you did from the last class into the next class. So you're not like, oh, where were we? It's like, no, you know exactly where you were. It's right on the screen. The LG CreateBoard has so many conveniences like that are just awesome. So it not only makes the teachers' lives really easy, but it also makes the students' lives better too. Now here's the icing on the cake. Connected Care DMS. So pay attention, class. This is super important. So with Connected Care DMS, your IT team can manage any of the displays that are on the network. Now that within itself doesn't sound super interesting, but let me explain to you why. It's not just whether the display is on or off or whether the firmware is updated. It's about getting more proactive than that. Remember, we're trying to solve problems before they happen when it comes to education. You want the IT team to be able to catch that stuff before it happens, any types of problems. So they're able to monitor CPU usage, hard drive space, all different kinds of things that could potentially be a problem, but they're not a problem if you catch it in time. Connected Care DMS gives your IT team all of the tools they need to be able to catch different problems before they happen and then solve them remotely. Oh, and did I mention that the LG CreateBoard also has its own content delivery system built in? It's just wild. So you can broadcast all different kinds of media, from audio to video. You can even live stream to these things. So if you have Monday morning announcements that need to go specifically to the freshman classes, but then you have another set of announcements that are pertinent to the seniors, you can do that. You can broadcast not only the classrooms, but classes of students as well. So you don't have to sit through a bunch of stuff that's not pertinent to you. And then with the live streaming capabilities, you've essentially turned every classroom into a potential digital venue for anything that's going on campus. Previously, this was something that you would have had to do a bunch of digital signage players and very specific displays to be able to make all of this happen and run, but the head office can do all of this. Not only can the head office do that, but they can also use the notification features that are built into Connected Care DMS. So if you need to pull a specific student out of a specific class, you can send a notification just to their class that says, oh, Samuel, your DoorDash is here, whatever it happens to be. That would actually be really cool if you could do that. But see, that's the thing, that you could if you wanted to with LG CreateBoard. But then other things like emergencies or fire drills, anything like that, you can send one message out to the entire school. It's super clear, it's succinct, and it's right in front of you on the screen. All right, everybody, that wraps up our deep dive of the LG CreateBoard. Now, I hope that you guys are actually excited and I've imparted that excitement to you, because it's real. Like, the amount of things that you would have had to do to be able to make all of the functionality that just naturally exists in the LG CreateBoard a reality without the LG CreateBoard would have been really difficult. It would have been a lot. I'm actually blown away by the amount of technology and effort that LG has put into the LG CreateBoard to make it not only the best display for teachers, not only the best displays for students or IT professionals, but the entire student body and the entire school system as a whole. So don't hesitate to reach out to the fantastic folks at EXERTIS Almo to be able to grab some of these for yourself. Hopefully be able to deploy an entire fleet to take full advantage of the LG CreateBoard's power. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm King Friday. Stay glossy, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.